Well, hello everyone, my name is Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today, the Cary Special. I've done one before, a Cary Special, but the Cary Special can be 50, 100 different versions. So this is just another version of mine that has worked really well for me over the years. The Cary Special is a searching pattern. I can't remember his first name. I think it was John. No, I don't know. Mr. Cary developed this fly back in the 80s. He's from the lower mainland of Vancouver, British Columbia. And it's a great little searching pattern. I think in the color scheme that I'm going to show you guys today, the WoodDuck, it's kind of a brown, kind of a green, kind of not either. I think they're taking it probably more for a dragonfly or a damselfly or maybe even a caddisfly. Maybe a leech. I do have a couple of pictures actually in my book right there. That it's kind of a tanny brown colored leeches that I've seen in some of the lakes in BC. So this could be taken as a leech tied longer and bigger. But in this version here, I think this is more what they're going for is the damsel drag, especially the dragon, I think. So okay, so here we go. We will start off with in the vise with a Hook-Hend's BL724 in a size 10. I do these in a 10, 12, 14. Sometimes in an 8 if I want to go with a bigger leech. And use like the longer WoodDuck feathers here. Mallard flank, sorry. You don't have to use hens if you want to use something else, but you just want to use a 1x strong, 1x long straight streamer hook. Okay. I'm going to use some lime green Nano silk for the thread. For the body, I'm going to be using some Semperfli, the seal's fur. It's the Semperseal, they call it. And I'll be using the Lichen right there, that one. For the rib, I'll be using some Danville's oval tinsel in gold. And then for the wing head area, I'll be using some of the mallard flank WoodDuck. Okay, now this is, unfortunately, this pack that I've got in this color is a little on the old side, so you might have to bear with me. Hopefully none of it breaks on me, but I've been having some problems with this stuff breaking. I'm going to have to buy a new pack, and that's unfortunate because this pack's almost new. So it was buried, and I'm like, oh yeah, right, I forgot about that fly. So, alrighty, so here we go. Just starting my thread as normal, behind the eye. Going to go to a little bit past the tip of the hook, the point of the hook, cut off. Really like fishing this one into the weeds. Love it. Love fishing this one right into or close to the weeds, or when you got that low weed substrate that's on the bottom, you know, that can be like 4 to 5, 6 inches. Love fishing this just right above it. These are deadly for that. So take a piece of the mallard flank. I'm just taking one. It's just this is actually the tip of one, and I'm just going to put it all together and figure out, I want about the length to where I stop my thread sticking past, so about like that from my thread to there. Just tie that on, loose wrap, tighten it, see how it sits. Yep, that's good. And I'm just going to do an open wrap, open wrap, open wrap, open wrap. And I'm going to stop about there because that's where I want my wing to be. And I don't want that. I want to leave some, don't want it too thick around where the wing's going to be. So I'm just going to lift that all up, cut that all off. That's where my wing roughly is going to end, is right there. Right there. Now I'm going to take some of that, I had a piece out there. It is, oval tinsel. Really like oval tinsels for this. They're a little bit wider and flatter than like wire. Easier to cut, obviously, as well. Okay, what happened? It was already cut there. I was going to go past because it's a little bit of a junky end there. And then I'm just going to lay it in. Doesn't matter if this is on top or on the side. You're not going to see it. Anywho, into my material clip to keep it out of the way. Nip off that junk there. Then I'm going to take some of the Semperseal, like I said, this one here, the Lichen, this color. Just going to grab a good handful of it out of the box. I've been tying a lot with this color lately, so it's all over the place. So now all I'm doing here is I'm going to now, the Semperseal that they just came out with actually in 2021, late 21, early 22, it's really long, the fibers, like really long. Great for leeches, great for pike patterns and stuff like that. But for these smaller, tighter patterns where you want not too much of a straggle, it's a little long. So I just take it, line it up, then I'll take my scissors and I'll cut it in half. And then I'll stack it and I'll cut it in half again. So now it's like that. And then I'm going to stack it and cut it in half again and stack it. And then I'm going to just take it and pull it and stack it and pull it and stack it and pull it and stack it. Always the same way. Where you're lining up the fibers the same direction and you're taking those cut ends and making it not look like it's a cut end. See? Okay. Going to come forward here a little bit. I'm going to do a dubbing loop. Come on back. All the way back, all the way back. All the way back, all the way forward. Wax, 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 because Nano silk is slippery. Super, super strong, but super, super slippery. Dubbing spinner. Dubbing ball. Put it in, spread it out to as much as you think you're going to need. I think this is quite a bit too much, so I'm going to pull a bunch of that out. I can use that for the next fly, if I can get it off my fingers. So there we go. Now I'm just going to give it a good spinny. Let it pull it together. Another good spin. Good pull. There we go. So I see how it's a little bit spiky. If you don't want them as spiky, you can just cut it again, right? So, and now I'm just going to wrap forward, wrap forward, wrap forward. If there's a really long one, like right there, I'll just hold it back. I'd rather have it going backwards than forwards. Yeah, that's almost going to be perfect, the mount. Yeah, perfect. Good. So there. Now tie that off. 1, 2, 3. Hold it all back. 1, 2, 3. Nip off your dubbing loop that you don't need any longer. Just gonna make sure this is all tied well, down well. I don't like that piece of oval tinsel that's sticking out there that I didn't get all the way, but it'll get covered anyway. So, okay, now I'm gonna go opposite direction with the oval tinsel, and I'm gonna kind of jiggle it through it, and jiggle it through it, and jiggle it through it, all the way to the front. Tie that off. Again, tie that off. It's a nice thing with oval tinsel. You can cut it and it doesn't kill your scissors like wire. Wire your helicopter anyway now. But so yeah. So now I have got my body complete. Now, if I want to, I can just hit that. Of course, I bumped the camera a bit, but if I want, I can, first of all, I got to make sure my tail is right on top. There we go. If I want, I can just do a little quick little pull out and have it more of a leechy style carry, but that's up to you. So that's about as much as I would ever do. Okay, now I've got myself this is the mallard flank in WoodDuck color. Gonna strip off all this fluff on the bottom, just so it's out of my way. I am gonna grab it by the tip and separate. Grab it by the tip and separate. So here, I'm just exposing that tip of the very, very tip here. It's going to be my tie-in point, so I'm just exposing that. There we go. So I've exposed my tip. Just going to hold that in on my side, shiny side or more colored side out towards me. Lock that in. Bend that back. Lock that in. And if you want to, you can cut that off or you can leave it. That's totally up to you. I will cut it off for this time. But you leaving it, it'll just become part of the wing, so it really doesn't affect it much. What I like doing here is just doing a little bit of a head, doing just 1 half turn, half hitch. Then I'll take my feather, just bend it a little bit, make sure it's good. Now you see this has got a natural curve to it. If you like this package that I've got that I was talking to you guys about, it's got a lot of that natural curve. like a lot. And that's from being in the package more than anything. If it's becoming a problem, and this one is becoming a problem, a few of them that I've tied have gotten really kind of ugly when they're dry. When they're wet, they're fine. You can just give them a steam, right? Steam them with your iron or whatever. So yeah, just one in front of the other, making sure you're stroking back all this material every time you come around. And if it starts twisting on you like that, just put your finger and hold it. And another one, make sure all that material is stroked back. And I'm going to do that full turn, and I'm going to tie this off. Yeah, I'll tie that off right there. Don't worry, if you drop one or two, you're going to be able to brush this out anyway. So I've done a couple behind, stroke everything back, 4, 5, 6 turns, whatever, in front. Again, you can do just a half hitch or whatever. I like doing just a 2 or 3 turn whip finish here at this point. Just make sure I don't lose it. Pull this back. Now, sometimes you can just pull these out, but I don't like it with the mallard flanks. They've got a pretty heavy stem. So sometimes that'll end up pulling the whole darn thing out. So I like cutting them. And again, just build up a bit of a head. I really like having not a huge predominant head here on these Carys, but I do like having a head, right? And with this this lime green, it's a bit of almost like a hot spot. So just build a little bit of a head up. This also helps force that material back. Whip finish. Make sure it's nice and tight. Kip that off. Take my brush. And I'm just brushing this out. Just making sure these materials are separated. And you see the length there? That's the length I like. I like this being just about the tail length or just shy of the tail length, right? So this is pretty well perfect lengthwise for the pattern I've got. I do tie them, like I said, if I want to tie them in a leech, I'll do them longer, right? Like that one is quite a bit longer than the tail. But I do prefer them shorter like this. So, alrighty, like I said, it's just another variation of the Cary Special. It's just a version I've been tying for probably 15 or 20 years with different materials. This Semperseal just came out, so I've been using other like Arizona Semi-Seal. I've used actually floss material for the bodies in the WoodDuck or that Lichen greeny kind of color. But yeah, these flies, when they get wet, they get nice and streamlined and get really buggy looking, right? So yeah, they fish really, really well. They got lots of movement in that mallard, and that little bit of shine from that Semperseal dubbing. It's awesome. And then that little bit of rib sticking out. It really is a good fly. Works really well. It's a good fishing fly. It's not a pretty fly. It's a good fishing fly. Alrighty. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, thumbs up. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please consider doing so. Share. Let everybody know about the page. Once we hit 2,000, I've got hopefully a fairly large giveaway, maybe even 2 giveaways. I'm going to get some Semperfli materials, some hens materials, maybe a vise if I can get one from one of my sponsors, maybe a fly line. I'm not sure. We'll see what I can all get, and we'll go from there. So the more you share, the better, because once we get up to 2,000, it can be a big giveaway. So, alrighty. Thanks, everyone. Tie lines, and we'll see you on the next tying video.